Hello. Welcome to this Christmas edition of the Maria Montessori Project. I'm Suzanne Ross. I'm here with my daughter Emily. We are going to do a little bit of a discussion about the issues that come up with toddlers at Christmas and see if the Montessori method has any insights about what's going on with toddlers at this time, because my project is about dramatizing the life of Montessori as a way to share the importance of her method of education and her insights about child development. So, Emily, what's happening? Little Grace is 2.5.
2.5.
Right? So, what's happening with her at Christmas?
Well.
And you? What's happening with
me.
you?
This is the first Christmas that she really knows what Christmas is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we did Christmas last year and she had a few presents under the tree. But we didn't even do a stocking. She didn't know what that was, really. But now, with all the stories, the Grinch and everything, she knows. She's becoming aware of Santa and hopefully Jesus and God, too. Anyway, so I've been looking at toys and looking at presents and everything online and in stores, what to get her for Christmas to make this a wonderful first real memory of Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be overwhelming because there are so many choices and I want to buy her so many things. But I know from my experience with Montessori that too many choices, too many gifts under the tree is counterproductive.
Well, Christmas is not just about our kids. It's about our memories of our childhood. And also about our, like you say, a desire to create this sort of perfect experience.
Yes.
And there's so much pressure on parents at this time of year. And I think especially around this idea that the more stuff you have, the better your Christmas is going to be. There's something about, well, we live in the United States. We're consumer culture.
Right.
Marketers want us to buy more stuff. So we feel this sort of pressure for more.
Yes.
And as you're saying, it's what the Montessori method allows us to see is how detrimental that actually can be, that too much stuff is actually hurtful to our kids.
Right. It can definitely be. For example, it's probably obvious to most parents, if you present too many toys at one time, it gets lost. Some of the toys get lost and they don't even get a chance to play with the things you wanted them to play with, or they move on from one thing so quickly because there's just so much stuff, and then there's this anticlimactic at the end, everything's opened, but then now what do I do with all this stuff? Because it's just too much overwhelming.
And that's usually when you have the meltdown or the tantrum or something happens, because it's very stimulating. There's a lot of stimulation.
Right, and there's a lot of stimulation. So I've been telling myself to try to limit it to 3, now I'm up to 4 things under the Christmas tree as gifts. And one of the things is a big thing, very big. Don't watch this, Grace, before Christmas. A play kitchen that has other parts with it, and I'm counting that as 1, as my 4, because I have to cheat a little bit because I also want to give her these things.
Right.
I keep seeing last Christmas, it wasn't as hard. She was only 1.5, but now I keep seeing all of these toys and games and puzzles and everything that I'm like, oh, she would like this, and she would like this, and she would like that, and and so it's hard to limit it for me, but I know it will be more successful in the long run. That I want her to enjoy the one big present.
Right.
And if there's too many other things, then she's not going to enjoy the one big thing.
That's right. And you're making me think about the spiritual side of Christmas. When you say that, because I think part of what happens at Christmas with this joy that we kind of remember from our childhood of waking up, and it's very magical, and there's something very it's a loving, joyful moment when you get these gifts given to you with no sort of strings attached to them. And I think that some Christian families reject the secular expression of Christmas because they think it undermines the nativity story and the focus on Jesus. But I really think it's an expression of how we might understand the gift that Jesus was to us from God. That we're sort of jaded about, yeah, God was born in a stable, blah, 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 the story. But that feeling of unexpected joy of getting a gift you didn't ask for, deserve, or earn is that experience of Christmas, of Jesus being received as a gift.
Right. And not God or Santa is not asking for anything in return.
Yes. I think that's really important.
That's the powerful part about Santa that I've been, Grace is I've just been too young to understand that part entirely, although I use those phrases with her, but that Santa gives us a gift to remind us that Jesus was a gift. Yes. And then we do it every year to remember the gift of love that, God gave us. And so that's, yeah.
Yeah,
it can be powerful that way.
It can be very powerful because then as adults, when we go back, that's part of your spiritual journey. What happens is as an adult, you actually go back and recapture those emotions that you encountered as a kid, but with new meaning, with a deeper meaning. And so it's good to give them that joyful feeling.
Right.
That they can have to go back to.
You want them to have that joy.
Yeah, because how else do you explain it if you don't experience it? You have to experience it.
Right.
But as you're saying, too much will undermine the experience of joy and turn it into something very anxious, very anxiety-producing or stressful.
Especially for the younger kids.
Right.
I think.
You were telling me how you've been gift giving slowly. Tell me
because I have, there are things I want to give her, and especially with the 2 weeks of winter break coming up.
Yeah,
I'm feeling this is our first winter break. She didn't start school last year till the spring, and so I'm feeling like I do kind of want to have a lot of toys around the house because I want to have her be entertained. But so as I've bought some little things like some extra books or extra puzzles throughout the month. As, if there's a lull in the activity, if her nap is short one day or we just have some time before dinner or something, I'll, it's not wrapped or anything like that, but I'll bring out something special, a new book, a new puzzle, that we can play with and add, to the house so that then when the 2 week, and also it's just one thing at a time.
Right.
So then she can enjoy it. We can play with it together. We can, it can be incorporated.
And it's about your relationship with her, too. It's not just about the object.
Yeah.
It's about you've given her something that you share together, and it's a moment. I mean, it's a special moment.
Yeah, it's also, yes, it's a special moment. So that's how I've been cheating to get more gifts, more new things in the house, but have it like kind of a slow roll, as it were, so that she can enjoy the things more, and then there's less under the tree the day of, but she actually has gotten a lot of things throughout the whole month.
Well, and I think you're right to introduce things slowly, and another tip for parents is to, if they're no longer engaged by a toy, to take it away for a little while and bring it back as something new.
Rotating toys.
Rotation is really helpful.
That was a tip at the school that she goes to. They did a little presentation, Toddler Montessori in the home, and to have in your house on wherever you display your toys to just have a few things out at a time, not a whole bin. I was using bins. I thought that's a great organizational technique. You can just throw a whole bunch of stuff in there, but then it's a whole bunch of stuff, and they never even find what's at the bottom, and it's not clear choices. And so, if you have just a few things out at a time, clear 1, 2, 3 on a shelf or wherever you do your toys, then you take away, as she gets something new, I have been putting away some of the older toys or that they outgrow,
Yes.
that are just, she's too young for, she's too old for now,
Right.
that she doesn't use as much, and so I put them in storage, and then when the baby boy comes
Save
along,
them for the
save
new
them for the
baby.
next baby.
Yeah.
But that's another way to keep your toys fresh,
Right.
too, is to, take things away and only have certain choices out. And they even recommended, rotating every, was 4 to 8 weeks?
Something like that.
I think it's even every 4 weeks. I barely get to it every 8 weeks. Usually we just end up getting something new, and then I take away something old.
Which is that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Especially at this young age, because they are changing developmentally so quickly. But sometimes they'll go to an old toy.
They'll go back,
and they use it in a different way.
They do.
So you could, let that be part of the process too.
Also, then your house doesn't get as cluttered.
Well, and that's the one other thing I want to say before we wrap up is this need for toddlers for a sense of order.
Mm-hmm.
Because what they're doing, and what Montessori really was the key to her method, is her discovery that the child's absorbing everything in the environment through all their senses, including manipulate, which is why kids are always touching things. It's not because they're being annoying and misbehaving. It's because that's how they engage with the world and learn what it's about. And then what we do in our little brains as children is we put things in an ordered way so we can think about them and talk about them and understand how they work, right? So everything the child is doing internally is taking all the sensory input and putting it in categories and ordering it. It's like a giant container store.
Right.
They're putting everything in its proper place. Nouns go here, verbs go here, things that break go here, things mommy doesn't want me to touch go there. They're ordering everything.
Right.
And so if you can create a environment in the home, sort of a external environment in the home that's ordered, it helps them internalize order.
And exactly. And as a parent, it's easier for them to put away their toys.
Yes.
Because there's a clear spot for them to go. They can take it out and they can put it away.
Just saying.
That's the theory, but that also helps on a practical.
Absolutely.
It's hard to tell someone to put something away if it's not clear where it goes.
Well, and Montessori understood that putting it away is part of the whole sequence of doing an activity.
Yes.
So when you do an activity, you take something out, you do the activity, you put it away. That's just what you do. Right?
I know. Since going to school, Grace is very happy to put things away. It's part of the...
Then you're done.
Right.
It's a sense of completion.
Yeah.
And so if you can make it easier for your child to have that sense of completion, you're helping their development. Right. Their language skills, their thinking, everything that's going on inside them is helped by an ordered, structured environment.
Right.
So I guess sort of to wrap up, we might say, start with last things first. Not too many things out in your home at all.
In general.
And in an orderly fashion,
mm-hmm.
like you're at the container store. So in order to make that happen at Christmas time, don't overwhelm with too many things at Christmas.
Right.
Especially little kids, and I think it just works for all ages.
Yeah.
Yeah. Resist that pressure that's coming at you from marketers and consumer culture to that more at Christmas is better. It's not. Actually, what's better at Christmas is more time for relationships.
Yes, more time.
More time to be together, not, rushing around trying to buy things and please people. And I think that's the third thing is just be aware that as a parent, you always are feeling pressure about how people are viewing your parenting skills. We all feel that we're being judged. And one of our deepest desires, of course, is to be loved and accepted and admired for who we are and how we're handling one of the more difficult challenges of life, which is parenting a toddler. So just know that it's okay to do what you know is right for your child and for your family. And if other members of your family or extended family or friends give you a little,
Yeah.
what's wrong with your Christmas? Just so say, that's okay. This is how we do it. It's
Right.
just how we do it. It makes us happy. So I would wish everybody and their toddlers a very merry, restful, calm, and spiritual Christmas.
Yes. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.